What's up, YTPC? This is DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video, and today I am finally doing the review on Stonehaven, the Virginia Burley blend offered through the Esoterica line. So, like I said, this is a Virginia Burley blend comprised of Virginia and Burley. So, with that being said, jar is empty. Jar is empty because I smoked all of it. Thankfully, I was smart enough to do a separate video of the appearance, the aroma, and the cut of the tobacco. So, let me just show you that video clip and then... Hey guys, so this is the aroma and the appearance portion of the Stonehaven review. This is how it comes. It comes in this very long, a chunk of it broke off, that's why it's missing in the middle, but by and large it's fairly wide, about average thickness for a flake, but very long flake, as you can see. Very dark in color, has specks of the yellow and sort of lighter Virginias. That's what it looks like rubbed out. And as far as aroma goes, I get raisin and like a dark, wet earth, which is actually kind of pleasant. So, anyway, that is the aroma and the appearance of Stonehaven. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's talk about the smoking mechanics. This tobacco came very, very wet, and it was in a pressed form, as you saw, so I treated it as such. Most of the pressed tobaccos, what I'll do is I'll let it sit out for about 15 or 20 minutes, rubbed out, and that usually dries it out enough to be able to smoke it. And I thought the same thing would happen with this tobacco, but apparently not. So, the first time I tried doing that, it didn't light very well, didn't stay lit very well, burned kind of hot, etc., etc. Second and third bowl that I smoked in, I let it dry out for about 30 to 45 minutes, fixed it pretty much, with that. Just a little bit more dry time. With that being said, if you do like your tobaccos a little bit more on the wet side, you could probably get away with only doing 20 to 30 minutes on this, but I would definitely say that dry time is needed with this tobacco. You don't get any additional flavor with it being kind of wet and in the pressed form that it's in. You do have to let it dry out to get the full smoking experience and the full flavor. With that being said, once you do get it dry out, it's a lot easier to light, stays lit very well, doesn't get too wet towards the bottom, relights very well, ash burns down to about a gray ash with some black spots to it. I did have to de-ash all 3 pipes in order to continue smoking because of the buildup in ash. Additionally, the smoke was very voluminous and very thick, which is kind of surprising for a Burley Virginia like this. Usually you would expect that from something like a heavy Latakia blend or something with Cavendish in it, but that was not the case. But with that being said, it was still a very cool experience, again, once the tobacco was dried out at the right moisture content, and again, once dried out at the right moisture content, I didn't experience much, I didn't experience much, if any, tongue bite. So, if I can smoke it tongue bite free, I think you can too. It's a medium-bodied blend, but it's got kind of a light-medium strength. It's got a light-medium flavor to it, and the nicotine is light to medium as well. So this isn't something that's super heavy. You might have guessed that it might be from the cut and from the color of it, but I didn't notice very much in terms of just overall strength and flavor output. So it's a nice, pleasant tobacco that isn't too light, but it's not going to be the medium to full that you might expect it to be, again, based off of its appearance. With that being said, I was given a sample of this, so I was kind of limited to the pipes that I could try it in, but I did try it in 3. The first one that I tried it in was my Royal Guard. This is typically what I would use for Burley blends, and I figured that because this was a Burley Virginia blend, that it would smoke best in that pipe. But unfortunately, that was the pipe that, again, I didn't let it dry out enough to smoke it in, so I need to get more of it to try in that pipe, and really a few others. I don't smoke tobaccos in all of my pipes. That would be an unrealistic expectation to be able to smoke them in, or to try the tobacco in all of my pipes. But I do try to get a varied sort of sampling of all the different chamber dimensions that some people might have to see how that tobacco will behave with certain chamber dimensions. And like I said, I'm going to need more of the tobacco in order to do that thoroughly, especially with this pipe. With that being said, I also smoked it in my Dagner P3 Bent Bulldog. Now, that's a conical bowl, and in that conical bowl, the tobacco was mostly burley forward, but the Virginia started to show up once I got about halfway through the bowl, and then it started to really tighten up towards the heel of the bowl. I also smoked it in my Savory pot, which I typically reserve for the heavier English blends, or a flake tobacco, or not a flake, like a crumble cake, or a very coarse tobacco. And Stonehaven smoked very, very well in this pipe. It really brought out the burley, kept the Virginia kind of in the background, but it was present. It wasn't completely absent from the blend, which mixed well with it, and it burned very well too in this pipe. So far I would say that it smokes best in a very wide bowl that's shallow comparative to how wide it is. Finally, let's talk about the flavor profile. The flavor profile of this is actually a lot darker than what I would expect from a Burley blend. What I believe to be the Burleys in this blend smoked with kind of a dried fruit taste and a nutty taste on the draw. On the finish, I got kind of a lighter version of dark chocolate. So imagine a dark chocolate taste, but kind of the flavor intensity backed off a couple of pegs. That was it. I also got in the background kind of this very dark, earthy kind of taste. It was kind of pleasant, and that complexity works well with each other, or the different flavor profiles in that tobacco kind of work well with each other. As far as the Virginias go, from what I can tell, they were sweet and they kind of had this fermented grassy taste to them, which was very pleasant, and it mixed well with the Burleys. In conclusion, I would say that if you're a Burley fan, oops, battery's gonna die, or a Burley Virginia fan, and especially if you want to try the Esoterica line, this would definitely be for you. It's an awesome blend. Takes a little bit of prep time, and it might be hard to find, but if you can find it and you've got the patience to prepare it correctly, again, this is a great blend. With that being said, my next review is going to be Deception's Pass. And with that being said, this has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. You guys have a good day.